it's a place of two summers. You've got a mild summer and the real summer.
And tell us about the choice for Kruger for this winter campaign, Moses. So why that area? Because of the outside or just the weather?
No, it's because of the weather and because of in the area. Yeah, we have chosen an area that should rhyme with our with the theme, because we are saying come to Limpopo and experience, the wild winters. So yeah, and come and enjoy, because our winter is so mild. When you are there, there are areas where you can experience activities that people do only in summer. It's like when you go to Durban. Yeah. So as a province, we have chosen Kruger National Park because people during this winter, they can experience, even evening game drives without feeling cold, in winter. So we are doing that showcase to say, come experience it. So we have invited the media to come and experience so that they can tell it themselves, not just advertising, because people might say you just advertise, but we want people to come and experience it. But when you look at that area, from Hoedspruit, which is Maruleng, the various products that they have, they all have mild winters. You go, through Zanin, all the way, to the north in Musina, to the Mapungubwe National Park. It's mild winters.
Sure.
And while you're enjoying yourself in the wild. It's a best time, to also watch animals. So that is the reason why we are saying, come to Limpopo and indulge yourself, with the offerings that we have.
And Moses, at the Greater Kruger, are we expecting to see the big five there, or are we going to see specific of the big fives, not all of them at the same time?
No, the big five. You are unlucky if you go to Kruger and you don't see the whole big five. Actually, we also say, because we have the big six, as our premier says, the biggest baobab trees that you find, in Africa.
Wow.
You get them in Limpopo as well. So, but there is no way you can go into the Kruger. Actually, once you come into that area, from Hoedspruit, into Kruger National Park, there is no way you don't see the big five. Yes. If you don't see it, you are unlucky that day. It means you must come the following day.
And let's talk about some of the activities. You alluded to activities that one can get up to outside of a game drive. What does the area have to offer?
In the area, and you'll see, we are going to unveil the packages for the winter campaign, because we got packages from your Skukune area, your Stradom Tunnel area, with the Tufa rocks. We've got your canopy tours around Mahubas Kloof, where you can do those activities. But we also have people that does your quad bikes, in the villages along the escarpment. So we have got a variety, a myriad of activities that people, can choose. Those people who wants to come for the hot springs, in Limpopo, there is abundance. From Waterberg, which is just 70 kilometers out of Pretoria, you are in Bilabila, you can enjoy swimming there, even in winter. But we are going to unveil those packages. The Honorable MEC for Economic Development, Environment and Tourism, Honorable Matibe, will be unveiling those packages that have been prepared, and immediately we put them on the website of Limpopo Tourism Agency.
Well, that sounds exciting. Moses, settle this argument for us. Where does the Blyde River Canyon fall under? Is it Limpopo or Mpumalanga?
Yeah.
It's both Limpopo and Mpumalanga. We ourselves and Mpumalanga, we had to sign an agreement, because you have got a place, there is a mountain called Maripskop.
Yes.
On top of the mountain is Mpumalanga.
Yes.
At the bottom of the mountain is Limpopo. It's the same with the Blade. So we then said with Mpumalanga, look, let's just sign an agreement, because tourists know no borders. And whatever, when we activate, let's encourage people, then we keep them in the region. So it's the same with Blade. Yeah, it's the same. On top of the Blade, it's Mpumalanga.
Yeah.
At the bottom where you enter into Blade, it's Limpopo. So, and you can't say to people, just fly into the top, but they have to drive through. So we have agreed with Mpumalanga, and we have signed an agreement at Indaba to say, even Kruger National Park, I mean, when you are in the east of Kruger, your area of Hazelview, and then you go into Kruger, it's in Mpumalanga. But when you come down, and if you want to go to the Elephant Museum in the Kruger National Park, it's in Letaba, which is in Limpopo. You enter through Palavura. But you can't separate. People can come and enjoy in Kruger. That's why we are marketing it, and we want to keep people for 2-3 days, inside the Kruger, so that we get some more spin-offs and create more jobs.
Moses, tell us about these packages that you speak of. Are these going to be reduced prices that we're seeing in order to stimulate travel to the area in these winter seasons?
Yes. We have approached our industry to say, it's a warm winters. What kind of packages do we have for our visitors? So yes, and indeed they've bent backwards just to create, packages. Some of them are half price, some of them 20%, 30%. So it differs. That's why we are going to unveil that whole plan, when the Honorable MEC launches on Friday.
And Moses, is enough being done to shine a light on Limpopo's tourism space or tourism attractions? I ask specifically because there are areas like Hoedspruit, which you just mentioned. It's one of the most beautiful places in Limpopo, and it's super affordable, but very few people know about Hoedspruit. They know Mpumalanga and the Kruger National Park, but when you tell them about Hoedspruit, they don't know.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's never enough. And we work so hard, in partnership with the private sector, and partnership with media houses like yourselves. Some of the people who are listening now, they are hearing for the first time that the Elephant Museum, you get it in Letaba. You understand? And these are the kind of partnerships that we need. And that's why when we have media launches, we invite the media to say, help us, take the message out there. And we also have media trips, tour trips that we tailor-made for the media, just for the media to talk about this thing. Because you look at Hoedspruit, the cheetah breeding center, you only get it there. I mean, there are products in Hoedspruit which are so unique, which you can only get there. And on the side of Mpumalanga and side of Limpopo as well. And those are the things that we are working very hard. We collaborate with Mpumalanga, want to make sure that we market this part of the area.
Moses, let us know where people can gain access to the reduced travel packages that you will be launching on Friday.
Yeah, we've got the Limpopo Tourism Agency website, www.golimpopo.com. Just on Friday, after 12 o'clock, when the MEC shall have launched, the packages, becomes available. And people can go into the website and get those packages, and then they can book and indulge. That's why we say there is more to enjoy in Limpopo.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And Moses, we recently saw Mpumalanga, the Kruger International Airport in Mpumalanga, introducing flights or flights from Flysafair, lower aircrafts from Flysafair. Are we going to see the same thing for areas like Hoedspruit, where right now it seems very monopolized and it's very expensive to fly to Hoedspruit as it is?
Yes, but those are the things, those are the initiatives that we are working on. Actually, we just had a good discussion with Flysafair because we want to introduce routes, between Limpopo and Cape Town. Currently, people can fly from Hoedspruit to Cape Town. But as you are saying, because it was the introduction, it was a little bit higher, but we are negotiating with them so that we make it more affordable, and then we can introduce, more frequent flights And once people get used to it, the airlines will also be sustainable. So those are the negotiations that we are making.
Moses, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Everything of the best for the launch on Friday.
Thank you very much.
All right. But we are speaking there. All things, I mean, I don't know if you may have heard Tebogo in the background saying, yes, when Moses was talking about the flights getting to Spruit, because he happens to be traveling there as well this weekend. So
I am traveling there. And every single time I go to Hoedspruit, right, you have to decide, am I going to spend more on, transport and fly there and get there in like less than an hour, or I'm going to drive, which is cheaper, but it takes about 5 to 6 hours to get there. Drive. It's quite the drive. And so initiatives like these, I'm very excited about them. And like I said earlier, the Mpumalanga introduced Fly Safari, and right now they're operating on a Friday to Sunday kind of basis right now, and hopefully the demand will increase where they'll open up more routes more frequently, and I hope the same gets done in Hoedspruit. It really is, and it sounds like I'm being very biased, and I am.
You are. I was about to say yes.
If you're looking for a bush retreat, now I sound like I'm on my TikTok page. If you're looking for a bush retreat in Limpopo, check out Hoedspruit. The accommodation there, bushveld, thatched roofs. You have an entire unit to yourself at a fraction of what you would pay in Gauteng for an Airbnb or a hotel. It has a swimming pool for the most part. Some of them have splash pools, and they have wild animals just roaming around. It is the most beautiful thing. If you're a bush lover, check out Hoedspruit. If you've never heard about it before, well, now you have.
Before we go to Onalenzinzi, we were speaking to Moses Ngobeni, Chief Executive Officer of Limpopo Tourism Agency. But it's not just Moses, obviously, as you could hear, that knows a lot about what's happening out in Limpopo. Tebogo's your guy, right? Tebogo's your guy. It is a minute before. What are you getting up to in Hoedspruit?
So much to do. Well, we've got the Blyde River Canyon, the boat cruise.
Yeah.
All right. Normally we would hike there. I would take a hiking group. This time around, we're just going to explore and enjoy ourselves, and not. You
guys aren't hiking.
We're not going to hike.
Okay.
Because different levels of fitness. But we're going to do the boat cruise.
Is it quite a bit of a difficult trail?
Not at all.
Right,
not at all. It's long, but not that difficult. Unmarked, so it can be challenging if you're new to hiking. Then we've got a game drive in a Big 5 private game reserve with a bomber fire dinner afterwards. So exciting. And then exploring Hoedspruit itself. I know they have some of the best bubble waffles I've ever had. And
I don't know what a bubble waffle
belly.
Is. Ooh, pork belly.
It's a waffle that has bubbles. Bubbles.
But
and they rolled
waffles have...
No, they rolled it. I'll show you. I'll show you a picture.
Well, I get a bubble waffle tutorial. Onalenzinzi is going to give us the news.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Mpumi. Looking at your top stories, human rights violations discovered in Zimbabwe prisons, and Kenya's President William Ruto publicly apologizes to Tanzania. Your latest news, greetings to our listeners.